Hello, it is April 14th, literally not even a day since I filmed my last vlog, which was the end to the last one. So of course there's going to be a nice gap between you seeing this, but what a difference a day makes. I concluded that vlog going, well, I did what I was gonna do. I revised Act 1, I broke my process. I really hope that I can get back into this book. Let's see how it goes. And then last night into today was like magic. I literally feel like I broke the seal finally on this book. I had mentioned before, you know, waiting for that moment when the word count, the daily word count didn't feel so painful, so like forced. I mean, that sounds terrible, but meaning I've been writing this book primarily in painstaking 500 word increments. Proof that, I mean, if you just write 500 words at a time long enough, you're gonna end up with a book. But regardless, taking longer than I'd like. I love hitting that stride on a book where you can get more like 1,000 words a day, easily more, when you can have a 3,000 or a 4,000 word day that just really pushes you forward in the manuscript. And it varies book to book. And on this one, it was just painstakingly long earned after 60,000 words past the midpoint. But I actually think it was revising Act 1 that was the magic, because going back to Act 1, knowing these characters so well, knowing the world so well, and the dominoes that I actually need to line up to knock them down, now I'm starting to knock them down. And so yesterday what I wrote was just easy. It was finishing the scene after the midpoint where essentially my character has to react to revelations and come up with a new game plan. And it was pretty easy. And then I pushed that right into a shock moment. Not so much a twist, but something shocking happens that again introduces a new variable. It's turning up the tension notch, because now it basically colors the stakes a little differently for the main character. She comes up with a new, wild, but maybe not so wild theory, which bridges the past and the present, two different murders together. And yeah, I just wrote that. I'm really happy with what I wrote. I sent it to my alpha reader and she was like, oh my God, you have to write more. And I was like, that's the feeling that you want. That's the reaction that you want. And then today I was like, you know, I actually haven't really done lunch hour writing in quarantine because I'm home all the time, and my evening, I basically don't have to commute anymore. So I've mostly just been doing my evening writing, but I basically vomited out like 300, 400, 500 words at lunch. I didn't check the word count, but the paragraphs looked pretty long to me, pushing me into the next chapter, which is essentially linear writing, which is no different from usual. If you watched the previous vlog, you knew that I was challenging myself to try to fast draft the rest of this book. And I mean, it's a fast draft if I'm writing a lot of words fast. I wrote 1,500 words yesterday, and I don't see why I can't write at least 1,000 today, since I've already done about half that word count. I still hope that I can try to skip some scenes. I think it's good to challenge myself, but also I'm not gonna fight something that's working. So thus far, I'm writing sequentially, which is my norm. And it's just exciting. I have 2 full chapters done that weren't done 48 hours ago, and that is an amazing feeling. A great way to start a new vlog. I know it's not all gonna be smooth sailing. Don't worry, you will surely get some drama. Finishing a book is always a little bit dramatic. I hope I can finish it sooner rather than later, but I feel really good about this start. I feel like this book is gelling in a way that it wasn't before, and revising Act 1 was the magic. It really was. So one of my newfound anxiety coping mechanisms, weirdly, just like, you know, taking up painting or puzzling, I'm finally learning to use my Instant Pot, which I bought in September and then literally didn't touch. It sat in my kitchen until April. So today's challenge is I am going to make a pot roast for the first time. So that's why there's gonna be some B-roll of me making pot roast. Okay, I skipped some steps there because I was too stressed out about like making sure nothing burned, but I seared my meat, I deglazed the pot with onions. Now I've got everything in here with all the saucy stuff, and I'm gonna pressure cook this. Ugh, accomplishments in quarantine. Okay, now that that is set to pressure cook, I am calmer now, and we can story time a little, context a little. I just dropped you into the deep end of, hey, I'm cooking. You're like, what's the big deal? So I can cook. I enjoy cooking. Honestly, I think I'm pretty good at it in the sense that my mom was an excellent cook. She taught me how to cook. I cooked all the time as a teen and into my 20s, but I fell into this like rut when I moved to California, and essentially for the last 10 years I have been a takeout ready meal kind of girl. Like if it is a frozen meal at Trader Joe's, I will buy it and make it, and generally no regrets. It's a great way to live. We've come a long way, and honestly that's just, it's easier when you're single, and especially during the normal times when I was working outside the home. You come home exhausted. Yeah, you don't necessarily want to do a lot of cooking, but also I have a baby micro kitchen. This is like a confluence of a lot of things that have basically meant I haven't really cooked. So I got an Instant Pot, partly as like quarantine madness. I got it in September. It was part of also like, I'm gonna eat so healthy, which I have been doing. But then I discovered, hey, I can also steam vegetables in my microwave, which I still do a lot of the time. But the point is, this is big for me, cooking a meal in my baby kitchen in this Instant Pot, and especially just you get little bits of my anxiety. The fire alarm in my apartment, so the smoke detector, this is just a thing in the building generally, they go off at like the drop of a hat. Like I had this early experience in this apartment of literally just making a pizza in my oven, a pizza, opening the oven to check the pizza, just check the pizza, set off the fire alarm. And I have this really bad anxiety response to the fire alarm, like the high-pitched noise. Like I really freak out, and you're like, this isn't normal. Yeah, I agree, it's not. But because of that, I have been super wary of cooking in my kitchen. It's like layering of reasons I haven't been cooking. So me searing meat on my stove, hot oil, steam, big accomplishment. I'm feeling great. I did the thing. The hard part is over. It's gonna taste delicious. I hope we're turning over a new leaf. I want to do a broccoli cheddar soup next. Like big girl things. And now back to writing. Because yes, I have been writing. You saw some inserts of me going to a Write Girl thing. You saw this super cool celebrity special guest. I've also been writing today, and I'm gonna write more later. I got my second dose vaccine on Thursday. Wasn't feeling great Thursday night, went to bed early. Wasn't feeling great all day yesterday, Friday, went to bed early. So today, Saturday, I'm feeling much better. It really is like this very temporary, less than 48 hours thing when you get the vaccine. At least for me, I got Moderna both times. So today's gonna be highly productive on multiple fronts. Cooking a pot roast, writing words. Okay, it pressure cooked for 40 minutes. I've released all the steam. We're gonna open it up and add. I cut these way earlier, so I didn't film it. We're gonna add the potatoes and the carrots and do some more. Moment of truth. Oh, and I get to try this trick, right? Yeah. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Pot roast is so tough because it doesn't look the cutest, except that's kind of cute. You can see how it turned out. Now I have to taste it. I have no idea what it tastes like. And the benefit of putting wine in your recipe is you have all the rest of the wine to drink. And I've been writing while this has been cooking. Yay! I feel like it doesn't count if I don't like have the food shot, so, all right. Eating on camera is weird though. good if I do say so myself, but I am a little biased. I feel like I'm on a forever quest to find new interesting places to film in my apartment, because otherwise these vlogs get repetitive. It is April 20th, Tuesday, April 20th. I just realized it's 4:20. There's no significance in me filming an update today other than I've hit a wall in my writing, meaning I don't partake of the holiday. Though it is Earth Day. Happy Earth Day. We love the earth, celebrate the earth. We destroyed the earth. So I've hit a wall with writing. It happened last night, and so I've taken the last day to think it through, and I'm like, the reason's kind of funny. So last night I was trying to finish 2 chapters simultaneously. Sunday was amazing. So yesterday was Monday. Sunday was amazing. I wrote over 2,000 words. So overall it was an over 3,000 word weekend, really effective. I got a lot of that tumble downhill feeling in Act 2, and then last night I was like, great. We're vibing. Let's finish this. And I go to finish these 2 chapters, and I hit a wall kind of on where I wanted to take both of those scenes in terms of where I was leaving my main character with the 2 different people she's interacting with in 2 subsequent chapters, kind of where I was taking information and what comes next. And I realized, oh, I hit a wall because I looked over my bullet pointed list, one of my bullet pointed lists, my things to do lists for Act 2, and I had barreled through all of the brilliant ideas I had however long ago now for all these cool things I could do in Act 2. And I mean, that's a good thing. In less than a week, I wrote all of these things that were on my agenda to write for this part of Act 2, but I've run out of my pre-planned ideas beyond, like, so I basically at this stopping point. And beat-wise, because I've internalized beats, I know I'm not at the break into 3 yet. I'm not ready for that big scene, and it's one of my signpost scenes, and I know what it is. There has to be something that comes between it. And so I've been thinking over the last 24 hours, I'm like, well, I guess she can break into an office, so I'm gonna do that, and I have to figure out what she finds, and it's gonna be fine. And I'm also just kind of like, well, since I ran out of all the perfect stuff to write, and I'm trying to fast draft anyway, take this as a blessing in disguise. I will skip a few things. I am gonna write a break-in scene, but it's probably gonna need some stuff between it. And then I should just go ahead and write that break into 3 signpost scene. I'm vaguely terrified because I basically need everything to come to a head. I need my main character to show her ass. This is very common in scenes like that, meaning it's where everything kind of tumbles down out of control. You know, she's gonna be throwing accusations, she's gonna be trying to get people to like tell the truth, and it's gonna be in a public place, and it's not gonna go well for her. Like, this is the moment in the story because it's gotta take us to her home stretch 3rd act where we know shit gets real, like the real, the final twist, the solutions. So I gotta destroy her in this scene, and I'm so self-conscious because I'm like, have I developed everything well enough? Is this how I want to implode things? But I'm also kind of like, you're the one who wanted to get this book done and get into revision mode, and these can all be revision problems. It's just, it's so like, it goes against everything I like in my soul, because I do like carefully, slowly writing in a linear fashion and having kind of all of those plot threads and character threads and emotional threads track. But F it. So I guess that's where I am. So tonight my goal is I'm gonna see what kind of word vomit I can get. I might jump around, in fact. I might write some of that breaking in scene. I have to decide, is she gonna do like the old trick them during daytime and like, oh, they could come back any moment, or am I gonna have her literally break in after hours and risk the police showing up? They're high stakes for different reasons. What do I wanna do? I gotta make decisions. I also have to decide, in that chapter that I still haven't finished, are they gonna get into a fight? This is like the main character and her sidekick investigator character. Are they gonna get into a fight? Is she gonna have to do this next stretch by herself? I don't know. I have decisions to make. And then the big breakdown scene, I just have to do it. So that's where we are. The good news is, this is technically like fast drafting. I haven't like really skipped around the way that I was hoping I could challenge myself to do, but this definitely counts as zooming forward in a fast speeding car and getting myself into the third act, which I want to write the third act so badly. This is what I like about designing thrillers backwards. It's why I recommend it. It's basically like that is the carrot at the end of the string. I want to write my big third act set pieces. I am excited about writing my big twists and reveals, and I tease myself the whole time I draft a book. And I think that's why this book is driving me crazy. A, that it hasn't been at times the book I wanted it to be. Now it's much closer. But also, it's taken me so freaking long to write this book that it's like, oh, the cookies that are at the end of the road, and I can't wait to reach my destination. So let's see. The last week was so good. Let's see what we can do over the next week, week and a half. Maybe I can write my climax relatively close to my original book deadline, and then maybe I'm not as behind as I thought. I've been worried that I would be a month behind, my poor editor. Maybe I'll only be 2 weeks behind. That would be good. Knock on my refrigerator. Yes, I'm filming in my kitchen. New angles. Wish me luck. Hey guys, checking in on Thursday, April 22nd. I'm technically doing it. I have been jumping around into Act 3 and writing out of order. It's been a mixed bag. So on Tuesday night, I jumped ahead to a scene and I was just like, I wrote some general description, then I wrote kind of description and lead in to the next chapter. I managed to write about 1,000 words, but I was kind of pushing it on the final like 200 word stretch. And in both cases, like I was of course hoping I would just like really flow into the scenes, but I didn't. So when that stopped, I jumped. So I did the same thing last night. I only did about 500 words, but you know, I can definitely tell that I'm moving into a weird period. So I think what I need to do, so like it's technically working. The 500 words I wrote last night is from basically the lead in to the climax. So that's fast drafting technically. It's just so inorganic for me not to finish whole scenes and chapters. It's very weird. I think though what I need to do, I think I have to go back and read Act 2. But just like with Act 1, a part of me, I'm like, is this gonna help or hurt? Is it gonna throw me off? But like either way, I need to finish this book, and clearly I know I need that emotional tracking of the characters and kind of making sure that I'm really clear on exactly where they are and thus how they are coming into these different parts of the book. I think that's the only thing that's really gonna help me write the full scenes and chapters that I need to write in this section of the book. Not just like the main character, but all the characters around her. I need to refresh myself on exactly what she knows and when and what other people know, and yeah. But I did have a cool idea last night, you know, wacky or inorganic process. I took a shower as always and I was like, what if this was a thing that I did in this big set piece? And I was like, oh, that's creepy. That is like perfect thriller tropey. Do I have a logical reason for that to happen? Not yet. I'm gonna find one. I think I'm gonna turn it into a really fun kind of red herring twist moment. Like it's that person and then it's not gonna be. But then I still need a logical, piecing together the logic is a later problem. But yeah, as well as it went last week, I've definitely hit a wall, but it's not the worst kind of wall. It's a home, it feels like a home stretch kind of wall. So I think I'm gonna go back and read. It is Sunday the 25th, and as a CP reminded me, it actually means 1 month to the Ivies today, which is bonkers, but meanwhile I am full on in murder she texted mode, and that's always how it is. Like, the next one's coming or the one before is coming and you're working on the next one. And I have been working on the next one. I actually ended up taking Thursday and Friday night off. And sometimes that's just the best thing to do, and you kind of learn over time writing books the feeling between I don't want to write but I should anyway, and when you should push through, and when a night or two off are the right thing to do. And Thursday night I was like, tonight's a night off, and then Friday night I was like, let's just do 2 in a row. But it was all worth it. I was a little stuck, and Saturday morning I set myself the challenge. I woke up and I was like, okay, you're gonna figure out how to be unstuck. And I had a backup plan. I was like, there was a scene I knew I could push through and write out of order. I've been doing it. But ideally I was like, even better if you figure out what that pre-break into 2 scene is, that missing beat that I think I talked about in my last update. And I figured it out Saturday morning by coming up with a pretty crazy idea. Like, meaning I was like, well, it had been in the back of my mind earlier in this draft. You could do that trope that you like, that's kind of a messy trope. And I decided to do it because it's like throwing a bomb into the end of Act 2, but a kind of fun one. So now A, I'm gonna have to appropriately foreshadow it before, but B, it pushed me to write what I needed to write, what my character was gonna find on that surveillance footage. And boy was it fun, and it pushed me right into that break into 2 scene. So yesterday I was able to write that missing beat. I wrote 1,500 words. Today I've already written 1,200 words of that break into 2 scene. I'm giving myself a little break. I'm actually gonna leave the house today. I'm gonna walk to Target, because a Target has opened down the street, which is like, oh, the clouds parting and the sun shining down. It's like the one and only good thing to come from this pandemic, in the sense that while I was stuck in my apartment, I got a Target within walking distance of my apartment. It's pretty great. And I'm going to, well, I'm gonna pick up some wine and some snack food so that I can write more tonight. I'm feeling it. I'm definitely gonna go either way. I'm gonna hit 1,500 words. I can write another 300 words, but I'm gonna see if I can go for 2,000. It's happening. I'm feeling the tumble downhill sensation. I am getting the word counts I want to be getting in my sessions, and crossing fingers, I think I can finish this book soon. Also, my soup turned out really, really great. Cheers. It's May 5th, and look what just arrived in the mail. You know what that means. Final copies! I will admit that I knew that this was coming like approximately in this timeline, and I have legit, cause I mean, you know, I don't leave my house, so I don't have cause to leave my house. So I've just been randomly opening my door several times a day just to check and see if this box was delivered. So we are going to open it. So excited. First layer is bubble wrap. I'm also trying to film the TikTok, which yes, is pure chaos. Let's see. So they're packed in backwards. So the first thing I saw was actually the back of it, but oh, look at it. Oh, that's a nice wrap. Like I of course had seen the book wrap, like they sent the file to me for approval, but oh, it's nice glossy paper. What I love is, check out that spine. This is the spine that's going to be on bookshelves. And I know I'm biased. I would legit pick this up. That is a sexy ass book spine. Oh, in the back they have the paper still and like the rip for the barcode and the blood, and I have blurbs on the back of here. Open it up. Okay. They used my tagline when this opportunity presented itself, because they had come up with the tagline, admissions are killer, which when they came up with it, I was like, you're so smart, like this is why you're my publisher. But then they're like, well, we're designing the jacket and there's room on the inner flap for more copy. What do you think of? And they made a suggestion, and I was just like in quiet voice, I mean like over email, what if you used this? And so I got my tagline, and what's really cool, like literally I put the tagline on the whip while I was writing the book. Like, I don't always have a tagline, but I did for this book, and it's being used in some marketing material, which is cool. Oh, and just the beautiful like maroon red. Look how cool the flap is. Ah! Oh, it's so weird. I love it. It just looks so swing. And now we have to do a naked book test. This is so cool. It's so collegiate. So we got the navy blue and then the red spine, and look at that. Again, this is a sexy naked book. That's, oh, the title's slightly embossed, like not embossed, but like, oh, it has texture. Oh, this is so cool. So when you open the book, this is the pre-title page. It's so cool, like they did the crest by itself. And then they have a photorealistic page with the cover. So this is the one that I'll be signing. And so like I haven't seen this. So, ooh, I have to decide on my Sharpie signing strategy. I obviously have to get red Sharpies. So you can't always know until you see your physical book. So guess what I'm gonna order later today? Oh, my dedication page. So I don't know if you can read that, but it says, for my mom. I'm okay. Love you best, always. Sorry. Cause that's something that was like, you know, you have like things that you say to your loved ones, and that was one of ours. Whew. My acknowledgements also make me really emotional. There's the entire first paragraph is about my mom. This is so cool. Every time is brand new, even though this is my third published book. And I'll show you the chapter headers. They did a little blood stain on them, which is just so cool. I want to find the examples of like the text messages and stuff, because they did all sorts of special formatting. Ah! Look, it looks like text messages. Oh, I'm so easily pleased. Fake emails. Oh, it just looks so cool. I'm not gonna show you the murder board, which I literally sent them a screenshot of Scrivener because it's spoilers. But there's a murder board in here, kind of. Like, it's like excerpts from a murder board. And there's literally an entire box of these. So when you're watching this eventually in my vlog, you'll know that you got like my raw reaction, because I'll be honest, I haven't been filming the TikTok for the reaction, so YouTube got my raw reaction. And y'all are still special to me. I mean, I've barely used, like, TikTok is still very overwhelming and is not something I have fully committed to, but I have fully committed to this book. Oh, look at it. And if you're curious, the blurb on the front is ruthless, clever, and infectiously thrilling. I couldn't put it down, which is from Dana Mella, author of People Like Us. A book you should pick up, by the way, if you're interested in the Ivies. It's already out. I read it in 2018 because she debuted with me, and it is excellent, and we are aged sisters, and Dana is amazing, and her next thriller is out in 2022, Summer's Edge. I was one of the early critique partners on it. It is fire, and you need to put that on your TBR as well. But anyway, I have final copies. How is my writing going? I actually took the last 2 days off because I had I mean, today's intense too, but like, it's an intense week at work in a good way. We have a product launch this week. It's what I've been working on for a while. It's a really exciting product launch, but I know I have to get back to the drafting tonight. I am in Act 3. I'm in Act 3. I am so close to the climax that I can taste it. I'm in that like fun set piece right before the climax. So I'm in the fun part where the character is gonna make the decision whether she realizes it or not, which inevitably pushes her toward the climax. And yeah, I'm so close to finishing my next book, and this is also my next book out, and that'll be my 2022 book, and what is life, and this is bonkers, and I'm very happy. It's Sunday, May 15th, and I realized I haven't filmed for this vlog in a while, and that's simply because I've just been plugging away. I have been working slowly but surely-ish. Work has been a little crazy. We launched a product in the last 2 weeks, so that's definitely taken up a lot of my bandwidth. I've also really fallen down this Instant Pot hole, tried a couple more recipes, bought an air fryer lid, doing the thing. This is an Instant Pot channel now, I guess. Actually, I'm thinking like, should I do like 1 or 2 like standalone Instant Pot related cooking videos? Anyway, I just realized I just said it was Sunday. It's Saturday the 15th. I made some progress last night on my climax scene. I have to jump back into that tonight. It's definitely tricky, and I knew it would be tricky for me. I'm doing the thing where I have to jump back and forth between marketing mode and drafting mode because the Ivies is out in less than 2 weeks, which is bonkers. And I've been doing the marketing stuff. I've been kind of enjoying the marketing stuff. And so it's just balancing the two. I still really want to finish this book. Look, I did test makeup for my launch event. I think I'm gonna do this. I did a blue and gold because I plan on wearing green. I'm wearing a purple shirt right now, but I plan on wearing green. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, the last couple writing sessions have been less than 1,000 words each, but I mean, they've been sessions. I've done something, so just have to push forward. Someday I'll finish this book. Someday. Hello, it's me, your favorite author who is very, very, very bad at vlogging, because yeah, it's definitely June 5th, and I definitely finished my book, and I definitely sent it to my editor, and I also had a book come out, and I definitely didn't vlog a single moment of it. Sometimes vlogging is just honestly really inorganic, and I get out of the habit of it, but I was on a roll. Finishing the book, it wasn't like some crazy mad dash. It was like a slow and steady, but clearly productive, like 2-week steady drumbeat. I wrote somewhere between 5,000 and like 1,000 words every other day or so. I did take some time off for like, you know, my book coming out. What a time. There's the irony that like doing both at the same time. I didn't want to be doing that, which is why my original self-set deadline was much earlier, but alas, it worked out fine though. I powered through the climax. I wrote the denouement. Felt good about it, but also very, very exhausted. I actually wrote it on May 31st, like right under the wire for June 1st, like officially like 6, you could argue I was 4 weeks behind the original deadline, because technically my editor said you could turn it in May, but really 6 weeks passed when I wanted to turn it in, which was April 15th. But I sent it to her on June 1st. It doesn't technically have an ending, like it needs a final chapter, and I know that, but there's a question mark of whether or not, well, what I want to do with the bad person, the antagonist, the bad guy, the killer. And I want to discuss it with my editor. I want her to read what I have, and I want to have like a good like brainstorming dev edit-y call to talk about a revision plan and that like ending cap we're gonna put on the book. And as you know, I have stopped before the ending on every single book and gone back and revised first, and that's basically the energy I'm channeling here. Though I got really far, like through the denouement, it just needs those like the final touches on it. It's a book. It's about 87,000 words, almost 88,000 words, which is a little less than I thought it would be in a good way. I'm so glad it exists as a work. I've sent it to some alpha readers to read at the same time as my editor, because I think it is going to be kind of a mad dash to edit this, because theoretically, if I want to stay on time for a fall 2022 pub date, I do have to finish it this summer. You know, we're gonna play that touch and go, see how much editing work this needs. I don't want to be bumped, but you know what? Let's just approach that later. This is the exciting front row seat you get to the publishing process and how these things work out. So I'm gonna leave you here because I'm bad at vlogging anyway, and technically I finished this book and that's where the vlog should end. So thank you as always for watching. You will get another part because editing's gonna happen on this book. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I will keep vlogging. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week. And again, my apologies that I did not vlog a single moment of the Ivies coming out, which I know makes me a very, very bad author. Please forgive me. See you guys later.